Today we're checking out the new M4 iPad Air. This actually comes in the same color options as the previous M3. The one shown here is blue. It has the same storage options at 128 gigabytes and it goes up to 1 terabyte. It's got the same dimensions, but it does weigh about 4 grams more than the previous version. You can choose between Wi-Fi or Wi-Fi plus cellular. It's got the same 11-inch fully laminated liquid retina display with an anti-reflective coating at 2360 by 1640 resolution and at 500 nits peak brightness. There's also a larger 13-inch version as well. Pricing for the 11-inch starts at $599, $200 more for the 13-inch model, but I've actually already seen the 11-inch version on sale for less than that, which is always nice to see. It's actually the same price as the new MacBook Neo, but this actually has better performance, and that's probably the biggest upgrade to this iPad is going from the M3 chip up to the M4, which the iPad Pro had last year. So even better performance on the Air. Plus this even has 12 gigabytes of RAM now instead of 8 that the M3 iPad Air comes with. I kind of liked it when it said iPad Air on the back. It was just a little easier to tell which iPad this is. Okay, seems like a little bit different startup screen. You can make things a little bit larger there during setup as well. They actually make it pretty easy to set up with another device, but I think I'm just going to do a fresh start on this one. And there's a software update. Might as well go ahead and do that. You've got the Touch ID still there on the power button. Then you just log in with your account, and that's pretty much it when it comes to setup. I think the screen quality on here is pretty good. Obviously, it's not going to be as good as the Pro versions, but still pretty good for the price. It's got good contrast. I feel like the colors look pretty good as well. If you're wondering how the build quality is on this compared to other iPad Airs, they're pretty much identical, especially considering it's the same color options as the previous version. It definitely feels a little thinner and more premium than the base model iPad. Of course, you have Apple Intelligence. It can also summarize notifications. You have the option of full screen apps or full screen and windowed apps as well. You can see the wallpaper is a little bit different. Can't say that's my favorite. I guess they're just trying something new here. The nice thing is you can always switch this back to the default wallpaper, which I think looks a little better. It's currently on iPadOS 26.3.1. Looks like it's using about 31 gigabytes of 128 available. Software-wise, this is going to be very similar to most other iPads that have came out within the last couple years. So if you've tried other iPads, this one's going to feel very familiar. It also supports the Apple Pencil Pro and USB-C Apple Pencil, just like the previous M3 iPad Air. It also still supports the same Magic Keyboard. I think this is a good option if you plan on drawing, taking notes, and that kind of thing. Nice thing about them not changing the hardware on this is you can still use the same accessories from the M3 and M2 iPad Airs as well. Of course, like most other iPads, it's got video out, so you could use an HDMI adapter to connect to a projector, TV, or external monitor, besides, of course, using AirPlay. If you compare the benchmark results from the M3 iPad Air to the M4, you can see it's a nice upgrade for single and multi-core score, and it's even a larger increase in GPU performance as well. Performance-wise, it's sort of the increase that you would expect going from the M3 to the M4 iPad Air. Of course, you can play just about any game out there on this iPad without too much effort. I know just playing PUBG Mobile and Asphalt Legends Unite, everything was pretty smooth on the highest settings available. It didn't even seem to get warm during my testing, so that's always good to see. Battery wise, it does still have the same size 7606 milliamp hour battery, and it comes with a 20-watt charger, but I think I've seen online where this will charge up to 40 watts, so I might have to test that. Not a huge surprise, but I ran my typical battery drain test at 100% screen brightness, and this lasted only about 5 hours, which is about the same as the previous M3 iPad Air, but of course if you turn the screen brightness down, it should last quite a bit longer. It still only has 2 speakers, one on each side with 2 microphones, just like the previous M3 iPad Air. Another upgrade with this iPad is it now has Wi-Fi 7 instead of Wi-Fi 6E. I think the speakers on here sound pretty good, plenty loud enough for most things. Here's a quick sample just to give you an idea of how it sounds.
Hurts to watch your blue
It also has the 12 megapixel wide angle lens on the back, 12 megapixel center stage camera on the front. In the camera app, you've got pano, square, photo, video. You've got slow-mo and time-lapse. You can shoot up to 4K resolution, 60 frames per second for video recording. The cameras on here are pretty good for a tablet. Obviously, it's not going to be as good as most cell phones, but still should be a pretty good option for Zoom meetings, FaceTime, that kind of thing. Here's a few samples just to give you an idea of what to expect on the new iPad Air. I think if you need a device for more intense or heavy duty stuff like 4K video editing or complex AI tools, I think it's a pretty easy decision to go with the iPad Air M4. Now, if you already have the M3 iPad Air, I don't know if it makes a lot of sense to upgrade to this, but I would say anything older than the iPad Air M2 would probably be a decent upgrade going with this one. I will definitely have to compare this to other iPads and tablets that I've already got, but so far it seems like a nice upgrade, especially if you're coming from an older base model iPad or like an M1 iPad Air or older. If you like tablets, phones, and other tech, I've got a lot more stuff that I'm working on as usual, so you'll want to keep an eye out for those upcoming videos. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.